all. My name's Jason Deal. Welcome back to Godspeed. The gas cap came off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Well, then you didn't have vapor lock anyway.
Well, it's summertime here out in sunny southern Saskatchewan, and so that means that minimum ground clearance is slimmer than normal. Which brings us to my 1989 Mustang. And yes, this car is unfortunately equipped with the anemic little 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. While that may change in the future, for now it does run and drive. It only has one issue with it though. It's the transmission. It leaks pretty horribly. I'll show you why in a minute. Basically, we just need to yank the drive shaft out of this thing and pull the bushing out. What idiot put the friggin' cat right under the rear main seal like that? Don't let your shop instructor see you do this, but you can do it at home. They're not seized in there anymore because I've been here a time or two. There she comes. So that right there is the original reason the transmission leaked, is because this original yoke didn't have any cap in the back. I didn't notice that till I changed the yoke. Also, if anybody knows why it had a big flywheel sort of thing going on there, let me know. The seal is sitting on my bushing. You see this bushing right here? It's sticking too far out. It should be like flush in there, but it ain't, so we're gonna make it. So this is my very expensive tool that I had to buy. All it is a threaded rod that pushes up against the output shaft on your transmission. That sucker costs like over 150 bucks, which is ridiculous. I mangled this old can up when I was trying to get it out. I tried every method to avoid spending 150 bucks on it, but I just ended up having to buy that anyways. And usually I end up having to put a zip tie on here just to space the tool out far enough that it actually engages the whole way. There she goes. Woo! You can see the height difference right there. So I'm gonna take an angle grinder with a flap disc and shave it on down. And this is the fix. Well, I got her down to 1.25 inches, plus or minus a few thou. So I guess all that's left to do is I gotta put a couple of chamfers on it. I also did check that my part was real flat on the surface of this old head. Now our only concerns are that it goes over this and turns, which it does, and that it can get tucked away under those teeth, which it does. All we did is make this shorter so that this is not under the sealing portion where this spring is. Be sure to lube the bushing. Did that in school. Don't let anybody tell you school ain't useful. There she is. That's more like it. That's what we wanted. I'm going to put a little silicone on the outside of the seal. You do not need to do this at home. This is just me being extra cautious because I've already done this job a few times and I never want to be back here again. Make sure you get this part good and lubed up. There we go. Back when I first got this car to run, that was the fuel filter. I turned it into a funnel. Just cut it open, gave it a short chunk of hose. Somebody holds it up at this end and I hold that hose down there and shove the hose up into the hole.
And it makes it super easy to fill the tranny.
So I've been letting the car run like Ferris Bueller a while just to make sure it's not going to leak, and so far so good. And there is our door handle donor car. Old Blue LTD is donating again. Just saying, Ford, you could have bolted it from the factory. Alright, that's enough fixing. Let's go for a drive already. So I was having a pretty good time driving this car, but then I had a bit of a hot spot on the brakes, and that was a bit of an issue, so I took the brakes back off, and what do I find? But the brake drum is totally coated in grease. So you see that grease that's in this drum? That's a combination of both granular that came off of the brake shoes and oil that came out of the differential. All that means is that I had to change an axle shaft seal, and that was a bit of a rabbit hole. Hey, do you see how the circle that you're looking through there isn't concentric with the circle I'm looking through here? That's because this entire axle housing is bent! Look at this. You see how that's all oily where the tube presses into the main part of the housing? You see how it's all crinkled at the front of that quarter panel? You see how it's got a piece out of the back end of the car? It's all a big part of how it's all bent! However, if we have to do a diff swap, perhaps it's time to increase our number of lug nuts. So y'all let me know how your success has been with 5 lug swaps on these cars. This bent diff basically means that diff is done in this car, and therefore my dreams of going on a road trip in this car are kiboshed for now. That kind of sucks. But I still want to have a good time, so you know what? If four wheels are going to fail us, maybe it's time to downsize to two. Which brings us here. And even though the motorcycle makes a very good shelf, I'd rather be riding it. Well, the first thing that a bike's going to need to drive is a gas tank. So our gas tank has been marinating with vinegar for a while now, so now we're just going to try and dump it out. If you have any doubts about how rusty this thing is, there you go, there's the proof. So how I've been patching this tank is with the seal all stuff and a bit of screen. Evidently gas is a pretty good cleaner. It found some more holes. Alright, this is the last stand for this gas tank. If it don't hold right now, it ain't gonna hold. Look what's not leaking, y'all. That ain't leaking at all, so we're gonna give it a try. And always make sure your seat's nice and secure. Just like that. Stop barking at me. Well, that was fun, but it was short-lived. Tank is leaking again already. So, here's the dealio. I am sure I could get this gas tank to work, but I don't want to take that amount of time. I got a different one. Let's go grab it. So, the bike needs a gas tank. I guess let's get a gas tank then. So, the new gas tank is without a gas cap. Fortunately, I just happen to know of a 77 T-Bird with the perfect gas cap for the job. Bought a CX500 that had a pair of tanks with it, so I kind of got this thing assembled on here. I got it held on with zip ties, and I had to get a T-pipe so that it would actually fill both carburetors, but that'll work.
Sing us a song, you're the cameraman. Not getting paid for this job. But as soon as my kid ends up monetized, my heart will be doing a throb.
I guess this is why they put helmets on instead of hats. They don't fly off. How's it riding, old top? It's working, it's working.
Just needs to be bigger and the V-twin and say made in the USA on it. Fine, I like Japanese food as much as the next guy.
Y'all know what a junky old 7.5 axle that's bent with four lugs is still good for? These tires were already bald when I got them, so no harm, no foul. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving us a like. That helps us out a lot. And till next time, Godspeed.